The outcome of Brexit may not be certain, but one thing is clear. Your business could face serious challenges. Enterprise Ireland's wide range of supports will help you plan, innovate, compete and diversify. Speak to your Enterprise Ireland Development Advisor or visit prepareforbrexit.ie, an initiative of the Government of Ireland.
With 0% finance on our Seed, Stonic and Sportage models, you know you'll get an unbeatable deal at your local Kia dealer. But as well as great finance deals, you'll get something else as well. The reassurance of knowing that wherever the next 7 years bring you, Kia has you covered. The Kia 7-year warranty, quality redefined. For more, visit kia.com. Lending criteria and terms and conditions apply.
Go, recording a call. Let's see. We are rolling. Fantastic.
Yay.
All right, it's right now Franco, Clanco, and Scoot.
I'll be right back.
Scoot.
Literally?
No, I'm good.
All right, that's good. For at least a couple minutes, for God's sake.
That's for my two fans out there of the show.
No.
True Scoot fans out there.
I have moved the Libsyn feed over to Spreaker. Not that the subscribers would know the difference.
I don't know what these words you're using are.
The new episode popped up, and obviously people are listening to it, and it wasn't like it was before. When we were on Libsyn, and Libsyn is kind of that was the podcast.
They suck
platform.
now, right, Johnny?
They don't suck. No, they don't suck. They're just they're not. They're
different.
Well,
they're not like us.
Their business model is
throw them out.
But their business model is to get people to.
The outcome of Brexit may not be certain, but one thing is clear. Your business could face serious challenges. Enterprise Ireland's wide range of supports will help you plan, innovate, compete and diversify. Speak to your Enterprise Ireland Development Advisor or visit prepareforbrexit.ie, an initiative of the Government of Ireland.
Subscribe to them, like podcasters, like podcast hosts, to use their service. That's their main business model. Whereas Blog Talk Radio, which now became Spreaker, they're like, no, we're your partner and we're getting you advertising. And so you might hear ads now on the Oh Yeah podcast, like you've been hearing on Word Balloon. I was surprised we had McDonald's ads running last night.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yes, and here's another thing you can do.
They had your break.
Do I get money for that? Or do I at least get a discount?
No, you get maybe a Happy Meal. Maybe a do they still have the hand? Remember the hand puppets they used to have? Like the plastic hand puppets?
No, yeah. They used to sweat people's arms off or hands off, so they don't do those anymore.
I bet our good friend Artie could get Harold's Chicken to sponsor the show.
Probably. He should put in a word.
I'm excited now that we have those commercials on because McDonald's introduced they're going to have a new menu item, donut sticks. So
are they really
excited.
Donut sticks?
Yeah, maybe I can get those. I can get those on a discount now, Johnny.
Jesus, unbelievable! I
could go into any McDonald's and demand that they work for me now because they advertise on our show.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Man, working in radio, all the different McDonald's ads are very funny. And they put a lot of work into those McDonald's ads, let me tell you.
Yeah, right?
A lot of bells and whistles, absolutely.
The Hamburglar edits them all, right?
That's true. Mary McCheese. Mary McCheese was caught taking graft. I like Mary McCheese. He's a good man.
Hamburgers.
We're going to have a wall made of French fries. It's going to work out really well. Got to keep the Hamburglar outside of the town.
The Hamburglar, because he says hamburgers.
That's true.
Hamburger.
And then Big Black is
why
the cop.
isn't Mayor McCheese around anymore?
What do you mean?
They only show Grimace and the Hamburglar, really.
That's true. I don't know. And
the
also
Fry Guys they did away with because they were all creepy and stuff.
They had a French fry person, I believe. I can't remember what his deal
French
was.
fry person.
Although I might be confusing that with Aqua Team Hunger Force, where they got this pack of fries.
Frylock.
Yeah, Frylock. Exactly. I love Meatwad. I'm a big Meatwad fan.
You guys are crazy.
And, of course, Shake. What's the matter with you? Very spazzy voice.
Shaky.
I like that.
You like Shaky.
That's true. That's why I like Shake. Exactly.
Meatwad.
The Drizzle. Did you ever see when he was that was his superhero? Shake's hero was the Drizzle. Who is the Drizzle? And he had all these posters.
I am the Drizzle.
Anyway. So yeah, my point is though that everything's on Spreaker now, all the pods of the Word Balloon Network, and they're good people. And I get a couple shekels a month. It's not a lot of money, but it's something, and that helps. It helps the cause.
Chicago liposuction.
Yeah, sadly, no, they're not one of the sponsors. No, Geico has been.
Oh,
and then it's interesting. Australian listeners were telling me that a pharmacy chain in Australia, they're like, how'd you get them? And I'm like, I do nothing. I'm like, that's the company that I'm working with, Blog Talk and now Spreaker. They make these deals. But the downloads are going like gangbusters now. For a while, only the most recent 300 episodes of Word Balloon were available on the feed. But and you had to go to the website to really download everything. But now,
are we listened to in other countries now besides Australia?
Potentially. I mean, well, certainly. Rod Rice has been listening to us.
Well, yeah, 'cause he's in Australia.
He's in Brazil.
Same difference, Johnny.
Yeah, not quite. Different part of the globe, but thanks for playing.
Well, it's down on the southern hemisphere.
It is the southern hemisphere. It's just the other side of the southern hemisphere.
Same difference. That's what I'm saying.
Speaking of which, a classic movie, and I got to watch it. It's a 3-hour movie, but Around the World in 80 Days was on yesterday on Turner. Classic movies.
Oh.
David Niven, hello.
How long did it take them to go?
80 days? I don't know.
Oh, wow.
That's a classic, man. Jules Verne. And Cantinflas, classic Mexican film star, plays Passepartout. But David Niven is Phineas Fogg, and Shirley MacLaine's in the movie, and it's got a lot of stars. That was a big deal. A lot of cameos, a lot of like quick 5-minute scenes with a lot of big movie stars from the 50s.
I did my annual watching of most of the Thin Man series.
I love those movies. Jesus, I love those movies.
I love those.
William Powell, man. He's got such a 1930s face. That little mustache and his big eyes and everything. I'm a big... Hello, Nora. And they're always boozing.
Hello, Mommy. Yeah.
Yep. I love the first one where they're having a big New Year's Eve party, and there's just a bunch of just drunks and everything, and one guy's like, I want to talk to my mother. Long distance. And he's crying on the phone. Hello, Ma. Happy New Year. I love you. Great movie. And Bernal Loy, man. Bernal Loy was all right.
She was a piece of nice right there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Am I allowed to say that in today's day and age?
I don't know. But, Max Factor, the makeup people, or the company, the actual Max Factor designed her makeup. Because I'm assuming he worked for Warner Brothers or whatever studio it was. Maybe MGM. But, she was one of his, her look came from Max Factor. How about that?
Wow.
Yeah.
There's no Tex Avery stories connected to Max Factor as far as I know.
No.
I got to finish this pancake makeup before I go. I'm not going.
There's some padding stories about Joan Crawford and Betty what's her name?
Davis.
Betty Davis, yeah.
Padding? Really?
Yeah, they gave him the shoulder pads.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
That's right, yeah.
I remember Catherine O'Hara.
What did you think I was talking about, Johnny? Come on now.
I'm not sure exactly. I wasn't sure. Well, in some cases, Judy Garland was too busty when she was Dorothy.
That's why they gave her butt pads.
And they taped her down to make her look like a little girl. Get the duct tape out. Ow!
Yeah. Wow.
Man, that's got to suck. But
I hear also that they folded her foot over like a Chinese concubine to fit in those red shoes.
Oh, man. I can only imagine. You know who had all those props for a long time? Debbie Reynolds.
Yeah, because they were all hers, right?
No, just when MGM was having their big sale, she was just mortified, and she's like, "We got to save some of this stuff." And I know she had one of the pairs of slippers. I mean, there were a couple that they used in the movie, but for the longest time she had she was trying to build a Hollywood memorabilia museum. And could never get enough funding to make it consistent and keep it going. So before she died, they started selling off her whole collection and everything. I think they mentioned it in that movie that she and Carrie made before they passed away, where they were talking about how they were working together. Edge? No, the one, and not mostly drinking or whatever, or strictly drinking, whatever the one was where it was Carrie's one woman show. But there was another one that they made, the two of them. and it was about how they Debbie's house was right next to Carrie's, and it was Debbie's last public performance.
Debbie.
Yep, and Carrie was
that's right.
helping her with it.
She died like a few days after her daughter.
Oh,
right?
it was tragic. Yeah, it's that. Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure the stress of what happened certainly didn't help her, but it's a great documentary. It really is cool, and it is heartbreaking that they went the way they did. Very sad. Very sad. All right, another downer. So, and by the way, we just released the episode 157. This is 158.
Yeah.
And on 157, we kind of did the death list, but it was a short death list, and I know I left a lot of people off. So sorry. I was talking about Francis, Harlan Ellison. We forgot to mention Harlan.
It's all right. He'll forgive us, or yell at us when we get there.
Exactly. So, pretty cool. What else? I haven't watched the latest Discovery. I'm sitting on because I know.
I watched it.
Oh, really? Are you all caught up?
I'm all caught up on the Orvilles, which I still dislike, by the way.
I understand.
And on all the Discoveries.
I have 2 Orvilles to watch and at least 1 Discovery to watch.
I'm liking the Discoveries a little bit.
What about the Orville?
Man,
Except for the issues that we talked about, but yeah.
I still got issues with Discovery.
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay, but it's really not. Dude, I'm telling you, BBC America. I mean, of course, Netflix and Amazon Prime have Star Trek on demand for you anytime you want it. But BBC America, like every day on Monday and Tuesday, I think they run Voyagers and they run Next Generations. I saw some Next Generations today, and I don't know, man. I'm sorry. I just think that I just don't think the stories are as smart. At the end of the day, they're just not. And I know that Alex Kurtzman, the Kevin Feige of Star Trek right now, has said that he always felt Star Trek was too cerebral, and he wants it to be more accessible to young people. And it's like, well, I don't know. I was 5 years old and watching Star Trek and was pretty entertained. So I don't know what to tell you, And I don't think I was any like Mozart running around like I was a genius or anything. And I'm sure a lot of the science was over my head, but it looked cool, and it was cool enough. And then as I got older, I appreciated the stories more.
What about the Pickard series that's coming?
Well, I'm looking forward to John Luke Pickard's show, and I am excited about what I've the rumors about it being about taking place after the events in the Prime universe in the J.J. first movie. That it's about how Romulus was destroyed, and it's moving the story further. It's a shame that they had to destroy Romulus to further the story, but whatever. That's kind of interesting, and it doesn't mean that the Romulans don't exist.
But wait, it's in the J.J. Abrams verse?
No, it's just that was the event before Leonard Nimoy Spock went to the J.J. verse in his ship. What he tried to do was, I forget. Like I think Romulus was like there was a black hole near Romulus, and they wanted to, He shot a torpedo with red matter into the black hole.
Yeah, because that's the two universes crossed over right there.
Exactly, right. Okay. And so Nero's ship and Spock's ship went to the JJ verse. And
so Nero could show up here.
No, he's already dead.
No, you don't know.
I think he's dead.
Spock died like 6 times.
Yeah, I know. That's true. Well, yeah, but this time I think for good, unfortunately. Spock Prime, as they called him. But yes, that's what they to differentiate him from Zachary Quinto.
And then what about this other one?
Yeah, you got Gregory Peck's grandson.
Is that who he is? He looks pretty good as Spock.
Yeah, I think he looks fine.
And in that promo where Michael says "Say goodbye, Spock," and he says "Goodbye, Spock," I
haven't seen that. The actors do that. I've seen. There's a commercial for CBS All Access.
Well, it's a promo. It's a promo that they run, but it's obviously from the show, like a future episode of the show, where I think he's talking to Pike.
Oh, so maybe ironically he does say goodbye, Spock.
Yeah, and he says "Say goodbye, Spock," and he says "Goodbye, Spock." But he kind of sounds like Nimoy a little bit.
He sounds fine.
He's got that
he sounds fine.
Yeah,
yeah, and I mean, we've heard his personal logs leading up. I don't know what I mean, really. It is kind of ridiculous. We're like 4 episodes or 5 episodes in, and we still haven't seen him. It's like, come on, Jesus.
No, I like it. It's a search for Spock all over again.
Yeah, no, now that's good. Captain Kirk, Alex, I'm a Klingon. It's Doc Brown as a Klingon. Marty, I'm going to take my bat lift, Marty.
Oh,
I'd watch that.
I'll be right back. You two converse. I'll be right back.
Oh, I don't watch Star Trek, so I don't know, Johnny.
That'd be a good crossover.
Yeah.
Have Doc Brown and his Klingon captain character. He was also the bad guy, Christopher Lloyd, in the horrible early 80s, completely forgotten. Do you remember the completely forgotten early 80s Lone Ranger movie?
No.
Yeah, I do.
With Clinton Spilsbury or some sort?
Yes, something around there. Yeah.
And the bad guy who played Butch Cavendish was Christopher Lloyd.
Yes, that's right.
Yep.
That's right. I do remember that. That movie sucked.
Well, and I was going to say, seriously, that movie's like...
It was so slow.
It's at least 30 years old, if not older. And I can't... It's almost 40 years old, I think, because it was like 1979 or 1980, I think. And, I can't even remember the last time that was even in, like, on video or anything. I mean, even the 1975 Doc Savage movie with Ron Ely, I've seen that more than I've seen that Lone Ranger movie.
I think honestly they don't show that one because it sucked.
Yeah, well, he doesn't wear the mask until literally like the end of the movie. It's like totally an origin story,
and he's not black. Because wasn't
the Lone Ranger? No, he wasn't black.
The Lone Ranger was like based on a black lawman, I believe.
Oh, I don't know if the actual Texas Ranger that the Lone Ranger was based on. I've never heard that. But
I've been right about a lot of stuff, Johnny.
I'm not going to doubt you. Well, and also you worked with the great cartoonist that did the Lone Ranger comic strip and comic books forever.
Yes.
Say his name. Oh, really? Wow.
You caught me off guard here. I'm having a brain fart.
Initials TG.
Tom Gill. Tom Gill.
Boy.
So,
I know.
Man,
I know.
why you do that to me, Johnny?
Well, that's payback for the times that you've pantsed me with the truth. So that's all right.
That's true.
Oh my God.
Man, I just totally blew it there.
He was truly good. He was an excellent Lone Ranger cartoonist, and people should look up his old stories because they were really great.
He was kind of a little bit of amazing there.
Yeah, he really was. He's kind of like Pete Morrissey for Charlton, who did Peter Cannon Thunderbolt and a million other comics for Charlton, where he just very quietly was cranking out books. And I mean, Pete Morrissey's ridiculously prolific, and I love talking to him about people who really know their Charlton, their 60s and 70s Charlton. And he was this amazing artist, and he created Peter Cannon Thunderbolt.
Yeah.
A great character.
Yeah, it was a thrill to get to talk to Tom Gill and meet him and work with him. Let alone, geez, it was weird but fun.
That's cool.
It's like one of those things where you're like, is this happening?
I bet.
But I have a fun thing that I did this weekend.
Here's something he did last weekend. Go on.
I went with a friend of mine, got tickets, and he goes, "You want to go to this thing?" And I'm like, "Sure." So I went. Ooh, I knocked over my phone. And I went, and it was for a great cause. It was all for charity, for Astor House here in New York.
Nice.
Excuse me, drinking.
What charity? Astor House is that?
Astor House is for at-risk kids. They house them and school them and stuff like that, and they get a lot of help from Jeffrey D. Morgan and his wife, Hillary Burton, and they do an annual. It was the third annual Ghost Stories on a Cold Evening, and they sold out the place in Kingston, up near where they live in New York, and it was fun. It was Jeffrey D. Morgan, Hillary Burton. It was Paul Rudd was there.
Cool.
Mary Stuart Masterson.
Cool.
Ant-Man.
Yep. And I forget his first name. Klain. he was the original lead on the Lethal Weapon TV series before they brought in the American Pie guy.
Yeah. Wow, that's interesting.
Who got fired? And
he and Damon Wayans did not get along.
He is a pretty funny guy.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So it was a weird but fun evening. It was just not like a regular show. It was just they just told ghost stories and they came out in the audience and they did like a Mad Libs thing. And it was fun. It was just fun. So,
that's awesome.
So I had Paul Rudd standing basically a foot and a half away from me. So it was pretty cool.
We need to remake Ant-Man and the Wasp. And, instead it could just be like Ant-Man and be like with a guy from the country club. Oh, hi, how are you, Ant-Man? Welcome. Normally we don't allow superheroes into the club. Oh.
We have a bit of a pest problem, you see.
I'm sorry. The club is restricted. You're not allowed in the pool.
Or you are allowed in the pool, but not the kitchen.
Exactly. We should do that.
So yeah, that was a fun evening, and I did
awesome.
that. I didn't know any of it because they never bill who's going to be there.
It's always
it's always Jeffrey D. Morgan and his wife and friends. So you never know who's going to be there, and then when they show up, you're like, oh, hey, I know those guys.
I really like Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He of course was at the Watchmen press junket, being the comedian and everything, and truly he and Kelly Leak, Rorschach, what's his name? You know what we're talking about.
Yes. Bad News Bears.
Tom Gill.
Kid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Bad News Bears. That's why I said Kelly Leak. That was his character. But they were like the funniest guys. They were hilarious. And but yeah, Jeffrey D. Morgan was very cool, very easygoing guy. We liked him.
The last time I came back from Chicago, I was on the same flight as he was.
Wow.
Because we both live out here in the New Yorks. So
that's cool. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. So that was a fun evening, and
outstanding. More New York theater news. My dear friend, great playwright Crystal Skillman, wife of Fred Van Lente, just got some honors in the theater world. I forget specifically what it was, but she was recently honored. I saw that on Instagram, and she's awesome. She and Fred wrote King Kirby, a stage play about the life of Jack Kirby. And it's been played in regional theater across the country, and no, she's great. She's legitimately like an off-Broadway playwright, and gets a lot of plays produced all over the country and stuff. And she's pretty cool.
Nice.
So there's some New York theater news. Oh, and who was just at Sardi's that I saw? Oh, a Chicago radio guy that I know, Dan Azzaro, was Instagramming pictures from Sardi's.
And did you tell him you already knew about the place? I've already been there.
That's the best. Well, we walked by. I think I showed Scoot. I put him on my shoulder so he could see like a kid at the parade. And I think we pointed out the honeymooners, Hirschfelds that are that are there.
Bang zoom.
So
I'm taller than you, but you did do that. You're right.
I know that cracks me. I know. Again, in my mind, I always feel like I'm taller than Scoot. And the reality is, Scoot's like 2 inches taller.
Funnier. It's funnier that way.
Everybody also thinks that they're older than Scoot by like 50 years because he still looks like he's in high school.
Exactly.
I am, but that's besides the point.
Exactly. How's your French teacher this year?
Spanish.
Oh, sorry. Me gusta.
Yeah, it's okay.
What was I going to say? Oh, my friends that I stay with in New York, they know one of the current caricature artists for Sardi's. And as an anniversary present, the husband gave the wife a caricature of her in the Sardi's style, in the Hirschfeld style. Not really Hirschfeld style per se, but certainly the way they look at Sardi's. And, of course, now, I mean, I forget the year that Hirschfeld died. I mean, he made it to, like, his 80s or 90s, definitely. But
spry as ever, it never worked out a day in his life.
I never knew that. That's amazing. He was like Erwin Hasen. How Erwin Hasen stayed alive for so long. He
drove right up until the last few years of his life, and people said you drive with Hirschfeld, you take your life in your hands because he had this big boat of a Cadillac that he would cruise and try and parallel park and stuff like that.
That's hilarious. Wow.
And interesting, did you know that in his art studio, he would work in an old barber chair?
I did know that. I saw that amazing documentary about his life. And, oh, my God. I mean, the guy did everything for decades. And there's, you know, there's a Star Trek Next Generation Hirschfeld cast portrait he did. Of course, the classic Odd Couple one of Art Carney and Walter Matthau, for crying out loud. But, yeah, I mean, literally from, like, the 30s through the 90s.
And all the Carol Channings that he did.
Yes, I know.
She just passed away recently.
I know. Yeah, that's true. That's another one we lost in 2018. You're right. I was just watching.
No, 2019. It was recent. It was only a few weeks ago.
Oh, really? I thought it was at the end of the year. Maybe you're right. Maybe it was the beginning.
No, it
of
was
this
only
year.
a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
Wow. She was like close to 100.
Yeah.
She was in her 90s. That's funny. I watched.
She was shooting for it, and then Betty White finally killed her. Is that how it works? I don't know.
Out of the way, dear.
It's like Thunderdome for old people.
Nice. Two old people who enter, one old person leaves. I like it. I was watching some YouTube rabbit hole videos, as I like to say.
Ooh.
And there was a documentary about Gracie
gross?
Allen. No, but it was a documentary about Gracie Allen, George Burns' wife. And Carol Channing was on there talking about Gracie because she was a good friend of theirs.
Oh, my, I love Gracie.
Oh, she was always so nice.
It's funny how Carol Channing almost talks like Stan Lee, almost.
It's true.
Say, you sound just like me. Yes, I do.
God. They used to show Flip Wilson variety show reruns on TV Land, and I remember there was one with Carol Channing from the 70s, and it blew my mind because it was her singing and dancing, and of course she's in the infamous 1969 movie Skidoo, and it's a horrible movie. It's like one of the worst movies ever, and it's Jackie Gleason, her, Frankie Avalon, Groucho is in it as God.
Ooh.
It's like literally Groucho's like last, I think, film appearance. And it's terrible. And Otto Preminger, the Mr. Freeze, the bald Mr. Freeze, if you remember your Mr. Freezes, not to be confused with George Sanders, the first one, or Eli Wallach, the other one.
Arnold.
And Arnold, of course. That's
Arnold.
Nice to meet you. That was McBain, actually.
Yeah, it's okay.
But, Preminger directed it. And, Preminger's a great director. Not the guy you want to turn to make a comedy, though.
And how did he get the Batman gig, then?
Well, because that was like Tallulah Bankhead was Black Widow. Hello, darling. That was the It show. That's just like how
contract players, I guess.
No, I think honestly, like they all wanted to do it because that was, 66. That was a big deal, and everybody did it. Jerry Lewis popped out of a window. You can find that on YouTube, and of course, Milton Berle, Louis the Lilac.
Mm.
All right, I'm going to name the star. Can you tell me? You probably can't tell me who the character was that they played. Can you remember who Art Carney played on Batman?
Captain Video.
Nope.
No.
He was the Archer.
Oh yeah, that's right. Captain Video was the
Honeymooners.
Honeymooners. That's right.
That's right. Official space helmet on, Captain Video.
Captain Video.
And Van Johnson was on.
He was. Wait, I know this one.
Come on.
He was the minstrel.
Very good.
Because
Excellent.
I wrote the Batman 66 story for the comics.
Oh, I thought you did the one with David Wayne, or not David Wayne. No, with Maurice Evans. I thought you did that one.
No, we did. Did we do two stories?
I was going to say the other one I think you did was with I've Always Known About Man when he was on Batman, when Dr. Zayas was on Batman. So that's a hint. Maurice Evans. He was also, of course, Maurice on Bewitched. He was Samantha's dad. The great Shakespearean actor.
I don't know him.
Starts with a P.
Penis.
Yes, it was the penis. That is correct.
I knew it.
The puzzler.
That was my next guess.
He was the puzzler. Yes. And, of course, all right, Roddy McDowell.
He was Cornelius,
Yes.
the ape.
You don't remember his Batman villain?
Buckworm.
That boy. Very good. And then Rudy Valley was the one in Londinium.
Oh, yeah. Jeez, I haven't watched these. Can't remember him now.
He was Lord Fogg.
That's right.
And then the day the
Lord Fogg.
the day the Earth stood still, Star was in one. Michael Rene.
No, don't know that one.
He was the Sandman.
Don't know it.
And then, of course, there are the two Riddlers. The obvious one.
Gorshin.
Yep. And who was
And
the
the other
second?
one was Rudy's dad.
Was he? No, he didn't play Rudy's dad in the movie. In the football movie?
Rudy.
No, he was Rudy's actual dad.
Oh, yes, that's true. That's right. That's right. John Aston. Yes, you're right. I'm like, wait a minute. That's Ned Beatty wasn't the Riddler? That would have been awesome if Ned Beatty was the... How you doing, Riddler? Hey, Batman.
Excuse me, Mr. Wayne.
That would have been fantastic. Both great actors. He's going to be on Gilbert Gottfried in the next couple of weeks.
Ned Beatty?
John Aston. I don't know how old he is. He's got to be.
Is he still? He is still alive.
He
That's
is
right.
still alive. I know, it's amazing.
Holy
Actually,
cow, that's right.
his poor wife Patty Duke is dead.
Right.
But yeah, John Aston's still alive. No, I'm looking forward to hearing it. It's going to be pretty funny.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I remember seeing a picture that Sean Astin tweeted out of him and his dad.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
And I was like, who's that guy? I'm like, oh my gosh, that's his dad. I was like,
Gomez.
oh,
Gomez Adams. Actually, Adams Family, very underrated. Great show.
yeah, I catch an old episode every once in a while.
It's still pretty funny. And so are the Munsters for that matter. But you know. Hello, Lily, Marilyn. Good stuff. The best was when Howard Stern used to always talk about. They used to pick on poor Fred Gwynn. I remember there's a classic like Howard Stern bit where they sent Stuttering John to like see him at a book signing or something like that.
Oh yeah, they would hound him. Yeah.
And Howard Stern's like, yeah, whatever, drop dead Fred Gwynn. We don't care about the rest of your career. All right, guess what? You're going to die. They're going to show a picture of Herman Munster. That's it. Okay, deal with it.
Yeah, Howard Stern's an ass. But think about it, but
Yeah.
it's funny.
His episodes where he has Trump on there are pretty funny.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Did you guys watch on, I forget which cable channel it was because I watched it on demand, Tom Arnold's Trump show where he was trying to find
his
all
expose
the...
thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, how'd that go?
It was funny and weird just because, you know, Tom Arnold talks like an ex-crack addict.
Or a current one.
Or a current one, possibly. We're not sure. But, yeah, part of it was getting all those old Howard Stern tapes and everything. And, of course, he couldn't get them, but it was interesting, nonetheless.
Are they still on YouTube?
I don't know. No, I don't think so. I mean, I think a lot
I
of,
think-
I think they yanked down
Yeah, I
a lot
think
of
the
those.
older ones are owned. Well, no, I think the old ones are owned by the old radio station because he was on here in New York. He was on 92.3
Yeah.
K-Rock, I think
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, it's a CBS station. Yeah.
Right, and I think they own them. They own those
That
shows.
could be. Yeah, that could be.
Because I think when he went over to Sirius, he wanted the library, and they wouldn't give it to him.
Wow. Well, that makes sense because
I could be mistaken, but I think that was the deal.
the guy in charge of Sirius used to be in charge of CBS, Mel Karmazin. He was my boss as well because he was Lord God of CBS Radio. And yeah, he was a son of a gun. And yeah, I'm sure as part of the, because that's what happened. Mel went to Sirius and lured Howard over there. So I'm sure in retribution, they're like, "You don't get nothing, you bastard." Good stuff.
You bastard. That's what
Yep.
he said to him.
I actually haven't listened to Howard in months.
Oh, neither have I.
Every now and then, like YouTube will have like a good long interview of a recent one that he does. You gotta give him credit, man. He does amazing interviews. They're fantastic.
He gets people to admit things that like I don't know how he does it. Do they feel comfortable with him? But there's been some instances where I'm like, I would never talk about this in public, and yet he gets them to do that.
Yeah, and I mean, he used to just be, come on, take your pants off, come on.
Yeah.
And then no, I mean, God.
But he was always a good interviewer if you listen to him.
Oh yeah. Consummate broadcaster, absolutely.
He's a pervert, but
whatever. But also, I mean, he's a great interviewer. Good Lord, unbelievable conversations with Letterman and Jon Stewart, and he had McCartney on, and that was amazing. He finally got James Taylor. He'd been wanting James Taylor for decades. Finally got him on. And no, you're right. Well, and honestly, he's like legitimately does real research and can get into some interesting stuff with these guys and women. Yeah. No, it's cool. They're intense and they're amazing, and they'll go on for more than an hour before they play commercials, obviously,
right.
But they'll go on uninterrupted and he'll let it spin. Very interesting. I've been reading Bernie Brillstein's autobiography. He has since passed, but he was Belushi's manager and a lot of the Saturday Night Live people, and he was part of Brillstein and Gray, which produced Larry Sanders and a bunch of big shows in the 90s for HBO and things like that. And he had a really interesting career as an agent and business manager for a lot of these celebrities.
Yeah, didn't on that Shandlin thing, didn't they talk about suing each other?
That's Brad Gray. That's the Gray and Brillstein and Gray. So this is about Brillstein. But he talks about merging his company with Brad Gray's company, and of course he has nothing but positive things to say about Brad Gray. And I have a feeling this was probably written in the '90s before all the crap went down with Shandling and Brad Gray. Although, I guess that was the '90s too. I'm not sure. I'm still in the 80s as far as where the biography is right now, the autobiography. But it's really interesting. He was Jim Henson's manager, and he really kind of helped Jim Henson get the Muppet Show going and everything. And as much as, like Henson liked doing Sesame Street, liked it a little, but really, was always making independent films beyond his puppets and everything. And it was, like Brillstein tried to get him a deal at ABC. ABC wasn't interested, and thank God British TV, ITV, was Lord Grade. The guy in charge of ITV saw the value of the Muppet Show. But very interesting, really, really interesting guy. And Henson trusted him.
Interesting.
Pretty cool stuff. You ever see those old TV commercials that Henson did? He did a lot of coffee commercials, and not just one coffee company. He would do a bunch of regional coffee companies and kind of do the same format and the same puppets. And if you look them up, you can find them on YouTube, and they're hilarious. They're literally 10, 15-second commercials, just one quick gag, and it's pretty funny. They're really cool. But in the Brillstein book, he talked about Ralph, because Ralph even predates Kermit, the dog.
Right.
And he was on the Jimmy Dean, Jimmy Dean Sausage, the Jimmy Dean variety show in the 60s. That was
Jimmy
awesome.
Dean had his own variety show and sausages?
Yeah, the sausages were a sideline. He was a big country singer. He's in Diamonds Are Forever, the James Bond movie, as a Las Vegas mogul, and it is Jimmy Dean of Jimmy Dean Pork Sausage.
Wow.
But yeah, literally.
What about the guy from IHOP? What was he in?
There's no guy from IHOP.
Oh,
what about Denny from Denny's?
I don't know who Denny was. That's a good question. We all know who.
What about Harold? Was he in it?
Exactly. It was old Weird Harold. You see,
Art's not here, so I have to carry
Weird Harold.
I have to carry the Harold's banner tonight.
I was. That's true. I know, Artie. Jesus. I was going through old video files on my computers that died. I did a massive purge. The apartment's never been cleaner, Scoot. It's even cleaner than when you came over.
Yeah, it was pretty clean when I was there, except for one thing.
Oh, you know what's hilarious for real? On the glove issue.
Yeah.
As my family really helped me power clean while I was sick. And there's literally there are
wait,
six,
is the glove still there?
There are 6 gloves that don't have matching gloves. 6. They're all in my bedroom in a drawer. It's pretty funny.
That's great.
And they're like, my sister's not sure if one of my cousins have the other matching ones, but we were able to match a couple pairs. But no, there's still like either 4 or 6 that don't have matching gloves. So
That makes me
but
happy.
they're off the floor. That's the good news. I should just put them on the floor just randomly
Yeah.
as decoration.
If I come visit you this trip to C2E2,
You got to come to the house, man.
I'm
You really do.
gonna bring like I'm gonna go to the work and get the lost and found gloves. Just take the right hand of all of them.
And just drop on the floor for me. Thank you.
Bring them, hide them around your apartment.
No, you got to see. You got to see my cool art that I have on the walls. I don't have any Francis paintings on the walls or drawings. I don't think I've ever gotten a Francis painting.
You never asked for one.
That's true.
I saw more of your apartment today than I ever cared to. Honestly,
That's true. Just now, right before we started recording, I know I actually had the video camera on, and I'm like totally t-shirt and shorts, and it's like it looked like my balls were hanging out.
I'm pretty sure I saw one of your testicles.
You
Johnny.
did not see. You did not see the tenants. I promise you. I promise you, they are well covered. But a lot of leg, like almost as much as Burt Ward in a Batman '66 episode. A lot of leg, or But I was going to say I was cleaning out video files on my old laptops because I got rid of them, the ones that were busted, but I kept them programming. And I found Bill Cosby's last Comedy Central concert that he did right before the scandal.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. And I was like, wow, look at that. That's
Good.
when I saw him, too, at Chicago Theater. It was funny. I won't deny that. He didn't try to, put anybody to sleep. Purposefully.
Now was he at that point? Was he like sight impaired, blind?
Yes.
Or,
Yes, he was. No, that literally, I didn't watch the whole Comedy Central thing, but in his act, when I saw him at the Chicago Theater, I saw him that same year. Because people might remember, that he was about to make a big push show business-wise. NBC, he had a new TV show in the works for NBC. He had a deal working with Netflix. He had a couple things going on, and it all fell apart because finally the truth came out. And ruined, obviously. But part of his bit was him being in his house. I'm having trouble seeing these days, you see. And he did a whole bit about, that he couldn't see. And there was a bat in his house. And he was like, that was a whole bit about a bat flying around his house. I didn't know. I couldn't see the thing. Zoom, zoom. With the pudding.
Was it the pudding that made him blind? Because I had one the other day.
I hope not.
And I'm scared.
I have a dark chocolate sugar-free Jello pudding in my fridge right now. I have 2 of them, actually.
You got to watch out, Johnny.
No, they're okay. I can eat those.
Okay.
I can eat that.
No, I mean the make it go
The pudding.
blind.
No.
Yeah.
Now you see. Now
The bats. Did he want to become Batman then?
I shall be a bat. You see. Criminals are a cowardly lot. You see.
Now this is something I'm thinking of the other day.
That'd be
And
great.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about Spider-Man, right?
Yes.
And
That idiot.
how popular Spider-Man is,
Very popular.
right? But Ant-Man is also a thing.
Oh.
But how come the
Blue Beetle.
the one is not more popular? Why is one more popular than the other?
What do you mean?
Why is Spider-Man just such a big character?
He wasn't first. I think that's a good question. Let's see. I wonder if the original Hank Pym story predated as a Tales of Suspense story. Predated Spider-Man. I don't think it did, because I know that Stan Lee's inspiration for
Stanley's.
Yes. His inspiration for Ant-Man was the Incredible Shrinking Man movie, and that was from the 50s, of course. A great movie. A great schlocky B movie. I don't know. I'm looking it up. But why is Spider-Man more popular than Ant-Man?
Yeah, there's a couple of
Are
these
you
other
kidding me?
guys. No. Because I'm thinking, what makes that more? Like, why wasn't Ant-Man given the push to be,
Well, he's tiny.
I know that, but I'm not just saying. I'm just using that as an example. Like, there's other things, like other characters, like, I don't know,
Tarantula.
Yeah, Tarantula.
Mr. Tarantula. I like your shoes.
How come he wasn't the Spider-Man? And he got to be the bad guy. I'm not saying in terms of how they were created and what they were used for. One's a bad guy, I'm just saying, like, just in terms of, being put out there and being,
I know what you're saying.
Right?
Well, I'm glad
explain
you
it
do,
to everybody.
I don't know what he's saying.
Yeah.
Explain it, Scoot, then, because I'm not doing a good job.
You did a good job. It's just like what makes Spider-Man so cool and everything? Is it Peter Parker that makes Spider-Man
successful? You're focusing on the bug aspect too much, sir.
But Peter Parker could have been Ant-Man, and he probably would have still been this popular.
By the way,
yeah.
But you know something? I didn't realize this. Spider-Man's debut, August 1962. Ant-Man's debut, or I should say Henry Pym's debut, September 1962. How about that? The following month.
Year, I think.
No, the following month. Wow.
Ant-Man had debuted a month before. We'd be watching Ant-Man Homecoming.
You never know.
Instead of
Well, I want to go back and go back to the Ant-Man thing to make sure about this. No, not the film. I don't want the film. I want the. We want the thing.
The thing.
Not to be confused with the thing. Actually, the thing is definitely older than Ant-Man and Spider-Man. Yes, September '62. The persona was originally the brilliant scientist Hank Pym. Hank Pym's superhero alias after inventing a substance that could change size. But of course, Scott Lang and Eric O'Grady also took on the mantle. But here, let's see about Hank Pym.
How'd they choose to pick the Avengers? Does anyone know that story? Like, why wasn't Spider-Man an Avenger right off the bat?
Because he was just a high school kid.
Well, yeah, that might be too. That's possible. And they wanted him to be a loner. I don't know, but I remember reading in the origins of Marvel Comics softcover books that they put out in the 70s. I believe the publisher was called Fireside. Stan had he talked about like putting the team together and everything in that back in the 70s. And I don't know. I really don't know. I think it was to kind of promote all those newer heroes to equal the Fantastic Four and Spider-Man. Like they needed the push more than like Spider-Man was already like enough of a success on its own. That's just a guess, but I could be wrong. I'm not sure. Let's see if that's in the Avengers biography. We should ask Van Allen Plesko, who has written several essay books about the Avengers. I believe he's an Illinois comic critic, but he's self-published and written like several books, like examining the various runs of the Avengers. Hated Bendis' Avengers, which cracked me up.
Oh,
Van Allen Plexo. I don't know. He just didn't like him. He didn't like the way Brian wrote stories.
I liked his. I like Bendis' Avengers.
Oh, me too. I thought they were great. I thought they were fun.
Yeah.
And I liked the fact that Spider-Man and Luke Cage were Avengers.
That was awesome.
Yep.
Wolverine, too.
Wolverine, absolutely. No, it's good stuff. All right, let's see here.
It was more like the Justice League of Marvel because they had their big names in there.
Yep. Labeled as Mightiest Heroes, the Avengers originally consisted of Ant-Man, the Hulk, Iron Man, Thor, and the Wasp.
Wasp.
Ant-Man had become Giant Man by issue 2. That was fast. The original Captain America was discovered trapped in ice in issue 4, of course.
It was a little premature, that's why.
I guess, yeah. Now, let's see.
Come on, that's funny. I just did that right now.
Franco
the initial series published bi-monthly through issue 6 and monthly thereafter. Yeah, but what about like the creation? Nope, they go right into the fictional thing about how Rick Jones pulled them all together. And of course Loki.
My brother, my accursed brother Thor.
If you remember the cartoon.
I just read the Jason Aaron Avengers.
Very good.
It was okay. I had some things with it, but
I liked Hickman started off really good, but it kind of lost its way. Who else has been writing?
Jason Aaron has like the big three plus like Black Panther and Ghost Rider and stuff in there, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought that I read volume 1 of that. I thought it was pretty good.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Jason's doing Conan, I guess, isn't he?
Yeah.
I got to talk to Jason. I haven't seen him since. I've been meaning to talk to him since at least C2E2, and he gets busy. Try me in a couple months. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Jason. Can your beard come on, Jason? I'm sure your beard has a lot to say. He's amazing.
He's like a Mumford & Sons guy.
Oh, really? Is he a big fan of Mumford & Sons? That's funny.
No, I just meant the beard.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what that means.
Or he could be a ZZ Top guy.
Yeah.
Put glasses and a hat on him.
You think they should have shaved their beards off for $1 million?
Oh, was that an offer?
Yeah, way back in the day.
Did Gillette or somebody offer him that?
Or something like that for them $1 million to
funny
to shave off the beard.
Sure, why not? Although those were like serious power beards. Mitch Garrett's has a nice power beard going. The Mr. Miracle artist with Tom King. He's got a good healthy beard.
I'll be right back.
Oh, come on.
It's for real.
I figured.
Oh, man.
He had a good run.
Yeah, well. He stayed on for more than 5 minutes.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Did anyone text Artie to see if he would come?
Oh, I don't know.
I'll do it right now.
I think he's doing things tonight because
could be.
He was emailing back. We were emailing back and forth today about stuff, work stuff.
I see.
Trying to get some stuff done today.
Can you publicize any work stuff, Francis, or no?
No.
Okay. All right.
No. I can tell you that Superman is coming out in the fall. Superman of Smallville is coming out in the fall.
Terrific.
And it'll be in bookstores and everywhere.
Nice. Great.
In the fall, and we signed another deal for a different book, but I can't tell because they haven't announced that at all.
Okay. Because John Cunningham was in charge of those, wasn't he? Or not?
Yeah. Well, I think he was the publicity guy.
Oh, that's true.
You know,
okay, and I know he was one of the people that got let go of DC recently, along with Mark Chiarello and I forget who else, but Chiarello.
Yeah, Mark Chiarello's. Yeah, that one kind of threw me for a loop.
They both threw me for a loop. They're both really
they
good
both
guys.
did. But the Mark Chiarello one really kind of just. Yeah.
No, he was a talented art director, and God, I loved the solo books that came out in the early 2000s, and that was one of his pet projects. No, he was terrific. Yeah. But, I was bummed. I was, when Zoom was announced, or they're under Zoom, right? Superboy Smallville?
Yeah.
Yeah, when that was all announced and everything, I was talking to John, and I'm like, when the stuff's finally coming out, you got to come back on. He's like, oh, yeah, absolutely. Because he and Bob Wayne used to come on and, puff up their chest about the new 52 numbers.
Right.
And it was hilarious. And like, this is number 1, and we're kicking ass. And it's like, okay, yeah, great. Now, how come everyone's mad at you for Before Watchmen? Well, that's really a Dan DiDio question. Well, they won't let me talk to Dan. They'll only let me talk to you guys, so I'm asking you. That was pretty funny. I enjoyed it. Bob was a good guy. That was seriously, that was one of my proudest moments, turning Bob Wayne around from, I'm never going to be on your show, to, Bob, you're on every month. I'm like, you're on more than Bendis is on. And he laughed. He's like, you're right. I'm like, see? So that killed me. Oh, man. These things happen. You don't stay at a company forever. It's sad but true. I hope John lands in a good gig, and he's got a great resume, and he's a good dude.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Good dude. And same with Chiarello. My God,
Chiarello. Yeah, there's the guy is just a major talent.
Yep.
If you've never seen his artwork, you should go check out his artwork. The guy is just a major great illustrator.
Agreed.
And designer, and I think one of the pieces I saw recently that I didn't know he did was a Disney piece, I think, for the Haunted Mansion, maybe.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of his. He did a lot of Negro League baseball stars.
Yeah,
and those were amazing.
Yeah,
no, good dude, good talented dude. I'm telling you.
I got so into working on this page, I did too much of it. Damn.
While I was sick, another former DC alum that is a good friend of the program, I talked at length with Jan Jones one morning.
Oh, did you really?
Oh, yeah, it was terrific. Seriously, like one Saturday morning, I'm like in the hospital and stuff, and she's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, you want to talk?" She's like, "Sure."
Oh, cool. So just like a chat and stuff.
Yeah, we just hung out and talked, yeah. No,
she's a sweetheart. I love her so much.
Yeah, we saw her. Of course, we saw her in October at New York Comic-Con.
Yep, and then she. Where did I see her? I saw her in New York, but I saw her at before that, like 2 weeks before that, or a week before that. I saw her in Pennsylvania, Keystone.
Oh, great!
Comic-Con, and
cool.
she surprised me. She didn't tell me she was coming.
That's cool.
And she just showed up in front of the table. I'm like, oh my god!
Yeah. She's doing stuff with Legendary.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And
she's in the same building as DC, actually.
Oh, that's funny. Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, they've got some interesting comic stuff coming down the pipe.
Yep.
Legendary. So, yeah, and I told her, I said, well, when you're ready, you're always welcome back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
She's awesome.
Yep. Jan and Fletcher were the two, like, DC people. I always say, and it's the truth, that we're like the first, like, hey, I know you. You make fun of Dan DiDio. You're funny. And I'm like, cool. I'm like, you guys remember me. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Ding.
I like both of those people.
Yep.
It's good stuff. Yeah, what else? I got other stuff that I'm working on, but nothing is set yet. I'm working on a whole bunch of different books with a whole bunch of different people.
Cool.
Right now.
That's good.
And, as soon as they become something to talk about, I will talk about them. But
excellent.
I'm having a lot of fun with stuff, Johnny.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm here. Netflix, I haven't watched it yet, but it came highly recommended, and I want to see it. Russian Doll.
Yeah, what's that about? Talk to me.
It's a kind of a time travel thing.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
About what? About where?
I'm actually looking up to give you the full deal on it. We'll see what Netflix has to say about Russian Doll. But it's a female lead, and apparently the lead actor also is she wrote the final episode of the first season. It's eight episodes, and it's half-hour long episodes. So easy.
And
to watch.
What's it about besides time travel? It's like,
well, I want to give you the full description here. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Here we go. Russian Doll TV series. There it is.
Where'd you go, Scoot?
Oliver's getting ready for bed, so I checked in. He wanted me to lay down there with him, but Kendra's already with him. So I snuck back out.
Yeah, man.
The hell? Hold on. Not to be confused with Russian Dolls, which was a different show.
Russian Limbaugh?
A cynical... Hold on. Things keep...
Johnny's trying to tell me about a new show that I'll
Russian
hate.
Doll, Scoot. A cynical young woman in New York City keeps dying and returning to the party that's being thrown in her honor on that same evening. She tries to find a way out of this strange time loop.
Oh, so it's not a time travel, it's a time loop.
Yeah.
Fruit Loops.
It is. Looper. Fruit Looper.
Fruit Looper.
Oliver likes Fruit Loops.
Does he?
Calls them Loop-de-Loops.
Nice.
You're a Fruit Loop.
My favorite breakfast cereal as a little kid was Kaboom. Mostly because of the name of it being Kaboom.
My favorite
you know what?
was Cookie Crisp.
I was just going to bring that up.
Cookie
I was
Crisp.
going to say I have an issue with Cookie Crisp.
That's not very healthy.
No, okay, never mind that. I'm talking about why they changed the mascots.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be a guy who would steal cookies.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah,
I just remember the wizard.
And
It was it?
the cop would be after him.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I just remember the wizard.
Oh, no.
All right.
The wizard came
I didn't
after.
realize that.
And there was a dog, 2 dogs, or a dog and a wolf, and the cop would chase after him because he would steal the cookies.
Interesting. I hadn't.
There was a
Now
guy,
it's just the wolf.
like the Hamburglar type guy.
Interesting.
It's a Cookie Crisp guy. Oh,
Because the dog would go, Cookie Crisp.
Right, and the ooh would,
Interesting.
It would,
Yeah.
like,
Wow.
yeah.
No, I don't remember that. I remember.
That was like in the 80s.
Yeah, I know it was an 80s serial.
And getting back to the McDonald's thing, the Hamburglar, they changed his face.
Did they?
Yeah, he used to be a lot more sinister
Yeah, he was
looking.
very ugly.
Hey,
I'm just saying.
you got to be that
I'm
way.
not saying. I'm just saying.
I said sinister.
I always thought he looked like Rob Blagojevich or whatever that guy's
That's
name is.
hilarious.
Wow.
Former Illinois governor. Very funny.
Yeah.
Very funny.
He had the same shape of his face.
That
I
is
think.
hilarious. That is, especially given he
Is
was
it Rod?
my governor. Not only was he our governor,
Yeah.
he also was
Is it Rod Blagojevich?
yeah
I
Rod
can't
yeah
say his name.
ROD Rod Blagojevich. He was he was our state legislator for our neighborhood where the Score and WXRT, the station I worked at in the 90s, he was our local legislator. So he would come to he would come to station events all the time. So I knew him like back well before he was governor.
Yeah.
And then of course we were there in 2009 when he was it? Yeah, I think it was 2009.
I think that was one of the last Wizard shows I ever did.
Yeah, and he was there signing autographs as he was.
Didn't everyone boo when he walked
What's
in?
that? Oh yeah.
Didn't everyone boo?
Well,
when he...
they would announce
Oh, my
that he was
God, it
doing.
was like-
They would announce he was doing autographs.
And everybody would boo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. But I know a lot of people, both conservatives and liberals, that got their picture with them, and a lot of comic book creators that were very happy to meet him. That were on both sides.
Yeah,
of the
that was just a weird
It
thing.
was weird. That's a great show. That was Slot and Mark Miller were there as well. And I did interviews with them in the green room. And that's when me and Mark Miller were talking up in the green room. And Billy D. Williams was in the corner. And he was like holding his head because he had a headache.
How you doing, Chewbacca?
No, but literally I'm like, Mr. Williams, I hope we're not going to disturb you. I said, I was going to interview Mark up here because it's quiet. And he went, that's okay. I just said to get off the floor. And we're like, okay, awesome. And it was great because ever since then, every time I see Mark, he's like, remember when Billy D. Williams was in the room with us when we were doing the interview? I'm like, yes, I do. That was great. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Ooh, Johnny, you know what? You brought up Mark Miller, and that reminded me of Rick Remender.
Yeah, Ricky's show.
He's got a Deadly
Yes.
Deadly Class.
Great show.
Yeah, and I'm watching it. It's pretty
a
good.
really
I like it.
good show. Yeah, I'm very happy for Rick. Very, very happy for Rick. That was a great idea. It's a great comic series. There's at least 6 trades out there. I'm sure that something's in the works to bring it back if it's not already. I don't think it's currently being done anymore, but I could be wrong.
And my good friend is on it.
Who's that? Which one?
Wong.
Oh, Wong. Really? Oh, that's right. Wong is on it. That's right. I forgot.
Yeah.
I like that guy. I keep seeing him on The Martian on FX. They keep running The Martian, and he's from JPL. How many days will it take to get to the thing? About 65 days. You got 62. Okay.
The center of Cookie Crisp.
How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? 3.
Let's find out. A 1,
a 2, a 3.
3. Good stuff. The world may never know.
What a jerk. That guy was a jerk.
The owl?
Yeah. He ate that kid's sucker.
Yeah, well, that kid's a sucker.
Couldn't resist.
You shouldn't have asked him.
Couldn't resist. It's too cool.
Stupid. It's stupid. See, you go on and you spout about the owl being a jerk, but is he a jerk or is he teaching that kid a life lesson?
There you go.
Because he's teaching that kid a life lesson right there.
I'm telling you. That's back when commercial cartoons were funny. My favorites were the Captain Crunch commercials where they were made by the Bullwinkle people. Hey!
We just talked to a friend of ours was just talking about comics. She was saying how, comics for kids, every comic for kids should be educational. And I was thinking, Well, not every comic, because my favorite comics growing up had no educational value other than they were, there was like a right from wrong, with these superheroes, but they weren't like blatantly teaching me how to brush my teeth or something,
Stupid.
Who was this person? Betsy DeVos?
Exactly. Betsy DeVos. Hilarious. She's an excellent educator for someone who has no idea what education is. Is our children learning?
Because she didn't like the Captain Underpants books and stuff.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
This lady?
Because they had fart jokes and stuff in them.
Oh, my God.
What's the matter with her?
That's all they are.
That's ridiculous. We had a Chicago...
Good thing...
Go ahead.
Yeah. I was going to say, I grew up in the 90s when cartoons were
They forced it on.
Ren and Stimpy was on, and those type of cartoons. Beavis and Butthead were on, and they were on in the middle of the day or in the morning. They weren't... It wasn't like Adult Swim now where they were on at night. True. Those cartoons were just marketed for kids. Yep. They weren't really for kids.
Well, then that guy got in trouble, John Kay.
Oh, God, yeah.
Right?
That's sad.
Yeah.
Not sad for him, but
because wasn't Ren and Stimpy poised to make a return or something like that?
Probably.
I feel like they were always trying to
bring them back,
reboot them, but it was never as good as it first was.
Yeah, well, after he stopped doing Ren's voice too. I mean, because then Billy West did both voices, and it was yeah. And I love Billy West. Billy West is a genius, but not that good. Not that good.
Yep.
What was I going to say? We had a Chicago local kids host who he made his own puppets and everything, and his name was Bill Jackson, and he had a couple great TV shows that were just amazing. And all of a sudden in the 80s, he had his last show where all the puppets lived in a hotel, and it was called Giggle Snort Hotel.
Oh.
And that was when the parent groups really got in and demanded educational content in all the cartoons. And he's like, it just wasn't fun anymore. And he goes, we'd take old jokes from joke books and stuff, and have the puppets tell each other the jokes and things, crazy shit like that, and and he goes, and it was fun, and it's true. And then they'd show Popeye cartoons and whatever in between, and because his original show was called Cartoon Town, and he was the mayor of Cartoon Town, and all the puppets were various citizens.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I'm not saying comics and stuff can't be educational, but
make them.
Not all books.
Not all of them.
No force them, that's all. It's that simple.
My books have kind of Sammy and even Spot on Adventure. There's lessons in there that Franco and I put in, but they're not. They don't hinder the story. They're not at the expense of the story. If he learns something in the story, it's to help the story go forward.
Because learning is half the battle.
Right? Yeah, we're not forcing something
Exactly.
Zachary, is that the horror host? No, exactly.
Oh, exactly.
I
see.
I said it differently.
I get it. Mr. Tarantula. I'm making you shoes.
I'm making you schwitz.
Good stuff.
What else? What else I got? What else did I say?
Anything else?
I haven't really left the house this winter.
Yeah, you're always at home, Franco. You never have school.
Yeah,
anymore.
what the hell, man? You guys,
Sorry.
You guys are getting school canceled more than Chicago, and we had the winter vortex. That was our only thing. That 2 days of the winter vortex, where everything shut down. It was.
We've only had 2 days off. So
yeah, but you guys were 10 degrees warmer than we were. We were at minus 19.
What is this, a pissing match now, Johnny?
Well, New York's always. I mean, every now and then it's the same temperature in New York and Chicago, but for the most part, New York's always about 10 degrees warmer.
Okay.
It's the truth.
All right. Mm-hmm. It's not my fault that you decide to live in an Arctic temperature zone.
Exactly. Okay. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you, and I was going to say it before we started potting, but you should say it now. Jamie Farsighting. Hey! Alan Alda has a new podcast that he does. I'll look up the name of it. But on a February 5th episode, he had the living...
a MASH reunion?
Yeah, MASH reunion. All the living cast members. It was pretty cool. I'm going to look it up while we're talking.
I'm going through all the old MASHs next. I'm trying to decide. I watch a TV show when I go to bed,
sure.
so that I know I've seen them all. So if I if I fall asleep, it's fine. So I'm currently going through MASH. I went through WKRP in Cincinnati before that.
Okay.
And then before that was Family Guy for the longest time. But now I'm going to run out of MASH soon, and I need a new show.
That's funny. I've been doing that with Frasier. Frasier's perfect because it's dialogue driven. There's not a lot of sight gags, and so you can listen to it while you sleep. And then also the music is nice and gentle, except for when he sings "Tossed Salad and Scrambled Eggs." Oh my!
Yeah, I don't know what that scares me. That song.
Cheers is on there too on Netflix.
That's true.
Oh, I'll do Cheers.
So Clear and Vivid, that is a good one to do as well. Clear and Vivid with Alan Alda, and it's an interview show. And the February 4th episode is the actors from MASH, and it was Jamie Farr, Loretta Swit, Mike Farrell, and Gary Berghoff, and Alan, all reminiscing. It was really funny.
What is it called? What's it called again?
Clear and Vivid. Clear plus Vivid. The plus sign. Clear and Vivid with Alan.
And it's the February 4th?
February 4th episode, yep.
All right.
Let's see who else he's had on. He had Judge Judy on. He had Sarah Silverman on. He had Kate Bowler. I don't know who she is. Michael J. Fox. How to Keep Going When Life Gives You Speed Bumps. Itzhak Perlman.
He's got a lot of good people on there.
Bill Bradley, the former Nick and Senator. Tina Fey.
Mm-hmm.
I love Tina Fey. Oh my gosh.
She's pretty smart. Rachel Ray. What else?
I want to be on Alan Alda's
Neil
podcast.
deGrasse Tyson. Mark Maron.
Could you make that happen? Let me be on this podcast. I want to be on.
Mark Maron doesn't like superhero movies, John.
I know, yet he will be in the Joker movie.
Yeah.
I know.
And he's in Glow.
That's a super villain movie. No, that's a super villain movie.
Yeah, sure, exactly.
Actually, so.
I know.
Oh, that he's got
Hypocrite.
you there.
Him and Bill Maher, another hypocrite. Crapping on poor Stan Lee's legacy and all of the fans and everything. Meanwhile, Iron Man 3, how you doing? It's like then don't do the movies. Don't take the chance.
Was Bill Maher in Iron Man 3?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, was it really? Well, that's how memorable he was.
Well, that's
to
a
me.
quick it's like when Jay Leno.
I see that President Dave is doing whatever.
Or like in Space Cowboys when they're all on the Tonight Show. Tell you what, Slick. Me and Clint Eastwood, we're going to the moon, Slick.
I didn't do it. I don't care.
That's classic. Yes, indeed. That's the best moment. In the drain pipe.
Yep.
Richard.
You do a good Tommy Lee. I like that. Say, I don't care. Say,
I don't care. It's always got to be Slick. No, I don't think so, Slick.
Two-Face.
Yes, sadly.
He
could have been a great straight Two-Face, and instead they made him ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's a shame. And he had that one moment of clarity when he becomes Harvey again. You're right, Bruce.
Yeah. Aaron Eckhart's Two-Face was good.
Yes.
He was just not in it that much.
Absolutely.
He was good,
and
though.
It's too bad they didn't pick up and go back to him. Did he die? I can't remember.
He died.
Did he die? I couldn't remember.
Yeah, he died. Batman tackled him off the edge to save Commissioner Gordon's son.
That's right.
And then they blamed him. Then they said Batman murdered him, and that's why he went into hiding.
That's true. I forgot.
My gravelly voice. I remember that.
Like, what's his face? The comedian. Pete Holmes. When Pete Holmes does Batman. So, have you been watching?
I don't know why they continued with that voice all the time in those movies.
Have you?
If you watch Batman Begins, it's not that gravelly. He still does a voice, but you can understand him.
I don't know. They figured he whispered the way he talked to Gordon.
Sweet nothings.
I tried to watch, and I guess I'm slightly paying attention to Gotham, but I have to admit I'm not watching it as religiously as I thought I would be. Kind of don't care.
Religically.
Yeah, I'm just, I don't know, man. I'm not feeling it. I never did really. It never really. Like the first season, it was a chore to watch it, and it just moved so slow.
I think Art watches it.
I know a lot of people watch it. I used to work with a lot of radio people that loved that show. Like, are you watching? Oh, my God. Penguin. Oh, my God. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's called Gotham, not the Penguin Show.
Oh, whatever. I didn't mind the fact that they made Penguin an interesting character. It's just, I don't know. And at the end of the day, I really don't like Donal Loge or whatever his name is, the guy who plays Harvey.
Wow.
I like the guy who plays Gordon. I like him a lot. He's a good actor. He's good. And I like Pertwee, the guy who plays Alfred. And the kid, as he's gotten older and his balls finally dropped, he's okay. And Selena was okay. She was all right. But I don't know. I just didn't. It was
Celine Dion? Ooh.
Yeah. Exactly.
I didn't know she was in this show.
Dion.
That'd be good. I like a Selena Dion. I make her shoes. They're tiny. She's Canadian.
My heart will go on.
Near far.
Let's put this a little bit of a Scottish accent there. Near far.
That's true. I guess so. Hey, you're right about that. That's hilarious. If Celine Dion were Scottish. Hilarious.
She does that. She does self compressions. That chest fist thing to herself.
I didn't know that.
Hmm.
She became really
Who makes
big, and then
fun of
she went to Vegas for a couple of years, and she disappeared because all she was doing was Vegas.
Well, yeah, because she did Vegas because she wanted to be in a constant spot with her kids and her husband, and then the husband died.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
The lady.
I'm telling you.
The lady.
Unbelievable.
What else? I don't know anything else.
Yeah, we can wrap up if that's all we got. We did good.
Wrapped up. Volumes 1 and 2. I mean,
there you go.
Now.
Good solicit. Very good. You and Shite. Very nice.
Nice.
Excellent.
Nice. If this comes out in the next couple days, then my commission list might still be open.
For C2E2.
But I doubt it.
Okay.
For C2E2. But,
mine's open too.
So go to Blind Wolf Studios to do that, or where should people contact you?
blindwolfstudios.bigcartel.com.
All right.
Yes. And then if not, I'll just see you at the C2E2s.
Yeah.
You can contact me for commissions on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram.
Excellent. Very good. You want to get
at scoopcomics.com.
There you go. Very good. I probably will not be at C2E2, folks. I'm sorry.
What?
Because of the health problems. But
sorry.
It's all right. It's okay. So yeah, I'm.
But you do have your Patreon, and we should tell people to go to the Patreon.
That's true. Everyone has been incredible with the Patreon. A lot of people, existing members, have upped their membership, and a bunch of new people have also joined and everything. And it's very good.
You know why that is, Johnny? Because we got the best fans out there.
That's true. That's very true. So thank you, and follow us when
Chicago liposuction.
That's true. That too. Very true.
Yeah, man. It's all cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. And without further ado, we will wrap up and say...
I like Pig very much, Lois.
I like Pig very much, Lois.
I like Pig very much, Lois.
Oh, wait, aren't we supposed to say, so stay we all on ours? I forget.
Well, we play the...
That's what I was thinking,
we play the Galactica music, but we still say I like Pig.
Oh, okay.
That's all right. I was just watching, as we say goodbye, Edward James Olmos's oral history interviews for the Emmy people, and he went over his entire career.
Oh.
It was good stuff. I like it. So say we all.
Good.
All right.
Good. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.
See ya.
That was a good one.
Your mum thinks you're great.
Oh, well done, love.
Your dog thinks you're great. And if your credit record is excellent, we think you're great too. Avantcard is now offering Ireland's lowest rate on loans over €20,000. If your credit score is great, improve your home, upgrade your car, have that dream wedding. The choice is yours. For more info, go to avantcard.ie.
Limited time offer. Lending criteria, terms and conditions apply. New applications only. Information correct as of February 1st, 2019. See bonkers.ie. Avantcard DAC trading as Avantcard is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.
The outcome of Brexit may not be certain, but one thing is clear. Your business could face serious challenges. Enterprise Ireland's wide range of supports will help you plan, innovate, compete and diversify. Speak to your Enterprise Ireland Development Advisor or visit prepareforbrexit.ie, an initiative of the Government of Ireland.